Hola, hello. Hola, hello. Buenos días. Bonjour, comment ça va? Muy bien. Hi, how's everyone doing? It's a beautiful day in Vancouver. I'm trying to catch this without it being like too glary. I don't know, I'm new to this, so I'm just trying something new. But it's so beautiful. I know that my phone's picking up the blues quite well. I just hope my computer is as well. But if you can see, the trees are all blooming. It's so beautiful here. Like the West Coast, for me, is truly where I love to be. Part of the reason I love Vancouver so much is there's a big cultural mix. I'm originally from Toronto area, but we have a big cultural mix in Ontario as well. And that's kind of what this video is about today. If you're from another part of the world and you're so fortunate to be up in Canada, welcome. When I was a kid, I was taught in school actually to be a proud Canadian because we accepted people from other countries here without any judgment at all. We just, the doors were open because we were a free country. We had good morals and we were generally nice people. And that always stayed with me. Mind you, my grandparents and my parents instilled that in me as well, that it was very important for us to accept other cultures that come here because we don't know their story. We don't know where they've come from. We don't know, what they had to do to get to Canada. So we should welcome them because people are people. We're human beings, a part of a human race. I say this a lot because it's so simple. It's just such a simple ideology. It's not an ideology, it's a fact. It's actually a fact that we're all human beings, a part of the human race. The thing that divides us is this heavy onslaught of media, social media, media always trying to divide by saying this country did this or that country did that. They're not countries, you know what I mean? They're invisible lines that are protected by people that are getting paid by a government. That's all it is. It's just people protecting a piece of land so that they can fuel this government's idea of some sort of economical value, which just comes down to money. But at the end of the day, it's people doing this. So we're all just people. And I say this a lot, and I talk to a lot of people from everywhere because I just like that. I love people. I do. I love learning from people. And when I explain that to them, they say, it's so simple. It really is just so simple that we're all the same. I use this analogy a lot. If I were to go into battle, if I had to run on to the field with 5 Scotsmen, 5 Africans, 5 people from Japan, 5 people from Mexico, 5 people from Chile, Argentina, whatever. Doesn't matter. And we all have to come together. And we've got to run onto the battlefield and we're going to do anything it takes to protect whatever this thing is that we're fighting for. Let's say love. Let's say all of us are out there fighting for love. We have to fight this entity for love. At the end of the day, if we all lost our lives, it wouldn't matter what color we are, what language we spoke. None of that matters because at the end of the day, we all bleed blue. Actually, blood is blue until oxygen hits it, and then it's red. So the battlefield would be covered in red by all those people from all those different other parts of the world. So it's what's inside that counts, not outside. It's just that we're constantly taught to judge and to view this outside mentality, and I really don't understand it. I don't. I try to wrap my head around it. It's confusing to me how we can train ourselves to believe this idea that the outward self is everything, when really, if we wanted to look at facts, it's what's inside that counts. I mean, we all feel, we all have emotions, whether you're black or Asian or white. If you've been hurt, you know what it's like to be sad. You know what it's like to be angry. You know what it's like to be happy, right? All these are emotions. So to think that we could talk poorly to another individual because of his skin color or because of the language he speaks and think that we're somehow better, we have a better feeling than they do, I mean, that's insane to me. That's totally insane. If you've been sad, so is that person. that person's been sad. If you've been happy, so is that person. And if you've been angry, or if you've been, I don't know, in a situation where you've been left out, you haven't been welcomed, so is that person. So it all comes down to feelings. And it's interesting to me how we can forget that fact. We can forget somehow that the people from other places feel. And I feel like in Canada, I'm very outgoing. I'm like this all the time. This is who I am. I know who I am. I love people. I value people over money. And I love learning. I love learning new things. And I like learning real things. So when I'm with people from other countries, they teach me so much. And it's so cool. It's so cool to embrace that like factor. Like, I don't. So my girl's from Mexico, and I've been hanging out. Like, obviously we spend a lot of time together, but I was fortunate enough to be invited to a Mexican wedding by a friend of ours just last week, and it was so amazing. Like, it was really, really amazing. A couple people spoke English there. Everyone spoke Spanish, but most times it didn't matter, because when we were sitting at the table and we were having a conversation, you can feel the energy of the conversation. Even though I don't speak Spanish, I could tell when something was funny. I could tell when something was like they were making a joke on someone, or something like that. You can feel the energy at the table, which is really incredible, because it just shows that, language, even though you don't speak it, it's not everything. It's not everything. Energy and emotions are everything. So again, with language, like people from other countries, I feel like in Canada we're hard to approach because maybe your English isn't so good, or where this could be anywhere. I'm just in Canada, so I'm just using my experience. But I feel like, yeah, that a lot of people are reserved to come up and have a conversation because maybe Canadians are standoffish. Maybe there's a mentality going on. I'm not too sure. It's kind of confusing to me what's happening, because in most cases, when I do break the barrier down with people, because I just go up to people and just say, try, like, let's have a conversation or whatever. They say, well, how come you're so nice? Like, how come you care so much? It's like, because I want to learn something. I want to share something. I want to have an experience, I don't need to be closed-minded. I was closed-minded for 20 years. I did things I didn't want to do, and I grew from that. I gained some awareness, some gifts, and gifts are meant to be shared. And now I'm receiving gifts from people from all over the world because they in turn want to share as well. That's what we're here to do, and I think that, yeah, a lot of people say to me, like, you're my first Canadian friend, or you're the first guy that has stepped up and really wanted to be a part of this. It's like, yeah, absolutely. And I'm not the only one. I'm certainly not the only one, but I just want to share, like, some of the experiences that I've had with people from other countries. I learn about food. I learn about culture. I learn about singing. I learn about dancing, because it's sort of just taboo up in North America to be, singing with your friends for some reason. Everyone's looking around like, oh my gosh, maybe they don't think I'm cool or whatever. But when I'm with, like, Spanish people, Mexicans, Chileans, everyone sings. It's a community. They have great cultural things that they do with dancing and whatnot. It's just it's a beautiful thing, really. Like, there's no judgment. Everyone's just there to have fun, and they all understand it because it's part of what they know. And I think for me, up here in this part of the world, we could learn from that. I mean, who doesn't like to have fun? Seriously. Who doesn't like to learn new things or try new things? Gosh, if you don't, I mean, ask yourself some things. Like, really, it's really a wonderful thing to learn things from other countries. I mean, where we live in this part of the world is just one part of the world. Remember how big this planet is. And remember how fortunate we are to be all a part of it. Now, I think it's crazy that these invisible lines divide us, and you have to have little documents that say you can go here, you can say you can go there, say you can do this, say you can do that. I think that's insane, to be honest with you. I think most people that are causing the problems are doing it because of money, in the world. I think if we just looked at love and peace and seen what peace and love could do for humanity, I think we could give it a shot. I think there's many people that would be willing to try that because this way of division and up in this part of the world, there's a lot of sad and lonely people in the world. over here. I think it's just in the world in general. I shouldn't just generalize for here, but I'm here, so I experience what I see, and people tell me, and loneliness and division is a big thing up in North America, and I'm not too sure why. We don't have community here. There's not much of a community. There are communities, don't get me wrong. I was in the East Side for 20 years. I know that there's a community where there's less because people stick together. So in first world countries, I'm not sure if we have everything that we think we need. Even though you're able to consume it and materialize it and own it, I don't think those are the things we need. Personally, that's just my personal opinion. But I look at material items as just attachments with no life inside of them. And then we can judge things that do have life inside of them, and emotions, which are two very, it's everything. Life, emotions, experiences, sharing. I mean, that's sort of everything. And to think that we would not experience something with somebody from another country strictly based on their color or the language they speak is insane. I mean, we're really missing out. And I think that's a lot of that is learned behavior from the TV. The TV's just poison. I'm going to tell you that. I mean, that's the truth. I always say, if you have a TV, donate it. Get rid of it. If you want to find some mindfulness, some peace, anxiety, stress, and fear are the three mainstays of what comes out of that thing. If it was a world of peace and love, it would be a much different television. But you got 900 channels of poison. There's very, very little in there that's educational or motivational from a standpoint of love. And I truly believe that. I mean, I'm 36 years old. I watch TV at some points in my life, I wasn't always this way, but I am now. But certainly it's nothing good going on there. It just distracts you, robs you of time, valuable time you could be spending with your children. If you don't have children, you could be out meeting people. A lot of people say, I don't know how to meet anybody. I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. Go to the park, put yourself out there. If you watch my YouTube channel is called Real Talk for an Unreal World. I'm doing my YouTube channel at the same time as this. My Facebook page is under the same name. But I just go outside and out back, and I legit just run into people. I put myself out there. I'm vulnerable, and it's been difficult. It was difficult in the beginning. It actually took me a while to tell my story for, with the loss and the heartache I had with addiction and losing all of my everything, ending up in prison. In the beginning, it was difficult to do that because it was just, being vulnerable. But what a wonderful thing to be vulnerable. It really is. I think that's, if you have that roadblock in your mind of putting yourself out there, just go for it. If you know who you are and you, if you trust in yourself and you believe the things you say and do, just do it. It's very liberating. And you get to be free on the inside. Never mind the world. Once you're free from the inside, the outside is just whatever. You can perceive it however you want. It's a beautiful thing. And I think for me, a lot of people that come from other countries, they understand struggle. And I understand struggling very, very well. Because I struggled for 20 years. And my struggles, it's not about who struggled more or who struggled less. If you've struggled in your life, then we can associate. And people from other countries generally struggled or are struggling, and they're here. So we can associate with that. So there's not really much of a difference. And I really want to bring attention to that, because it's just so important for us to understand that we're all one. It really is. It really is to me. I mean, the wonderful things that I've been experiencing the last couple weeks with people from other countries. We always help. I do recruiting for a company in Vancouver, one of my best friend's company, and he's an amazing guy. If you come, you work hard for us for 3 months, we sponsor you. We have no problem. We're finding more and more that it's people from other countries that are really trying to work hard. So that's another conversation we could have. Like, people are coming here and taking their jobs. They're working freaking hard. Take a look at gas stations. Take a look at grocery stores. Take a look at Dollarama. All the places that you know pay nothing in Canada. They pay nothing. These people from other countries are working there, and they're working hard, and they do it generally with a smile. I always talk to them. Anyone who works in these things, I'm like, "Hey, you in school?" "Yeah, I'm in school." This is hard, hey? "Yeah, this is very difficult. It's very expensive here, and we get paid nothing, and we pay everything in taxes. Welcome to Canada." He works 7 days a week. Oh, God, for literally nothing. And they got to try and make it work. So shout out to everyone from another country who's working in a place that pays you nothing and you're trying to get through school, because I appreciate you. I appreciate everything you're doing for this country. I just appreciate you guys being here. I mean, it's really great. I haven't had too many of those jobs in my life. I started in construction quite young. So, yeah, I got good at some things and I just stayed with it, and it kind of just paid me. So that's what I did. I didn't have to do those jobs. I was pretty thankful for, but I do appreciate everyone from other places or in Canada that are doing those jobs. I mean, I don't think that that's said enough, to be honest with you. It's kind of crazy that we don't appreciate that that fact, because it's a fact. People from other countries aren't here taking jobs. They're here working their ass off like everybody else. You know what I mean? So let's not have that. Not to mention, I should also explain this. People from other countries that are in Canada, if it costs me, this isn't a fact, but let's just say, if it costs me $100,000 to go to school, and I'm a Canadian, it costs them $300,000. So anybody you see from another country that's up here that's going to school is paying 3 times what we are. That's a fact. And not only that, they pay more for insurance and they pay more for healthcare. If you're in British Columbia, we pay for healthcare here, and they pay more. So not only are they paying more for everything to try and succeed, to try and gain some knowledge, and hey, that's their right to be free to go around, and if they have worked so hard that they're able to do that, I mean, they're able to. So it's not about people from other countries overpopulating our education system. No, their families are putting everything they have into it so they can try and obtain some knowledge to get somewhere. So we should be very grateful for that. And I want you to understand that. Like, that's a fact. A lot of my friends are in school and they pay 3 times what we do. Like, usually it's 3,000. There's some, I'm not going to go into it, but there's some shady stuff going on with the school system here. Canada is very much run like a business. So we should understand that. When you see people from other countries, you don't blame them. Blame the government. It's certainly, that's what's going on here. It is a business in Canada, and business is good. So I think that's very important to share. And I appreciate everyone who's here learning and taking knowledge back home, because you know what? A lot of these people are here for 4 or 5 years, and they're here for 4 or 5 years away from their family. And a lot of the times they're alone. There's little communities of people from other parts of the world here, but not that many, that are, they're divided here because in Canada we just are. It's just how we are for some reason. So we should appreciate that. Imagine being away from your family for 4 or 5 years and trying to be in another country where you don't really speak the language, you don't eat that kind of food, you're trying to be involved in a community that doesn't want to involve you. Like, appreciate that. That's insane. I mean, I know if I was over there, I don't know, let's say India, or let's say China, I would be nervous and I would be frustrated if I wasn't accepted. So I think, let's just remember we're all human. Like, we all feel, right? So people, no matter where you come from, are just feeling. We should be sympathetic to that, really. I mean, empathetic maybe. Have empathy for something that's beautiful. That's just feeling is real. It's I don't know, it's just wild that I think that we've got to this point in life and where we're able to disregard that. It's kind of crazy to me. How did we ever do that? How are we ever able to feel something but not feel it for someone else? Take drug addicts, for example. Vancouver is where I'm at, so Maine and Hastings is one of the most visual places you can see pain, which means there's a lot of addiction down there. A lot of open drug use going on, a lot of needles, a lot of things that the city is just disregarding. But one thing that is the same no matter where you are in the world, people walk down there and they'll say, oh, drug addicts or whatever. Oh, junkies, like, look at these people. What's wrong with them? You know, it's disgusting. Get rid of them, they say. It's like, hold on a sec. You remember, those are people. I don't care what they're doing. They're feeling something. Obviously, what they're feeling ain't good because they're trying to mask it with heroin, meth, or whatever the hell they're doing. It doesn't even matter. Drinking, it doesn't matter. They're trying to do that to suppress some sort of emotion, something they can't process, something they can't feel. If you're human and you've felt those kind of things before, then remember they are too, but it's just every day and it's nonstop in their mind. Addiction is something that consumes your brain. It takes over all of your thinking patterns. You can't get out of its way until you unwork what you're trying to unwork. It's very difficult for some. You don't know if those people were, I don't even want to speculate on the story, but I can promise you from being down there for 20 years, it's more often than not the craziest thing you've ever heard. Now, do I accept all of the truths? I don't know. But behind every story is a piece of truth, I believe. And for what it's worth, I don't care. Because I know that I know what pain looks like. I know what a damaged heart looks like. And I see a lot of that down there. And I think of people as people. I don't care. I don't care where you come from. I don't care what your story is. We all have one. Let's remember that as well. We all have a story. And I think that that's something else that we should appreciate these days, is that we all have a story. How could we ever look down on someone? How could? And if anything, if you're looking down on someone, I hope it's to put your hand down to help them up. I don't know how you could ever step over someone. I couldn't do that. If that person was trying to help themselves, I'm there. I'm going to try and help you. Now, there's people in the world that just haven't figured out their own journey yet and will just take. I understand that. You're not stepping on that person's head to go around, but you're just keeping an eye on that person from a distance. We all are on our own journey. I can appreciate that. Many times in my life I was alone. Many times in my life I had nothing. So that was because people had to distance me from themselves, because it just had to happen. I just wasn't in a good place. And I can appreciate that today. And I could appreciate it in the moment, actually. I knew why they weren't answering the phone. I knew why. Who am I kidding, right? That's just a reality, to be honest with you. So, yeah, I just wanted to share this today. I've just had a wonderful, I always have good days, you know what I mean? It's just what you perceive. My roommates are from Bangladesh. I want to say shout out to everyone from Bangladesh, because they're just wonderful, man. It's wonderful to meet people from other places in the world. I've learned so much from them. I've learned that we're just all people, and we all have a story, that's the main thing. It's just a wonderful thing to be around people from other countries and learn that everybody has a story and everybody feels. And language just shows that you were brought up in another part of the world, just like culture, That's what separates us. Let that sink in. Like, the only thing that divides us is, the only thing that makes us, shows that we are from somewhere else, is those two things. There is no division. I don't know how there can be. Division's for multiplication. That's it. That's how I feel about that. It's just the truth. It's just the absolute truth. And I can't wait to experience the world. And I can't wait to experiencing other countries. We're going to travel in a year or two. We're going to travel the world. So I'm doing this thing to take this thing with me, and I can't wait. I can't wait to go over there with my friends in Bangladesh and hang out and learn about the culture and how they do things. And I'm really excited about it. I love trying new things. So I'm really, really excited about that. I love new food. I love people. I love people. I don't care where you come from, man. I'm all about it. I appreciate everyone who's been watching and supporting me. It's been unbelievable. This is really, really great. I can't even tell you how much this means to me. It's wonderful. It's really wonderful. Place I'm going to represent is La Fontana Cafe. It's on Hastings and Burrard, and it's run by a man named John. And if you're from anywhere in another country that likes salsa verde, the man makes salsa verde like handmade, organic, wonderful. Oh man, you can taste the lime, you can taste the spice, you can taste the chili. It's It's a nice thing. And the man is wonderful. Such a cool guy. He's all about community. They host a food bank drive every Thursday at the shop, La Fontana Cafe, Hastings Street in Burrard. And the bird's down with it too. But yeah, he's a great guy. If you love great food, if you love something made with love, go check out John, La Fontana Cafe. Because I only represent real people, real things. I'm not even really about it. But I am when people are helping people. And when people put love into what they do, I mean, I think that's what it's all about. That's why I do this, is because I love it. And I love it. So that's why I do it. So anyone else who loves what they do and they represent something that's so pure and to their core values, and it coincides with mine, I will speak out about that, because that's what I'm about, man. I'm all about it. I think that that's a wonderful thing to be able to do that. Shout out to everyone in Mexico. ¿Cómo estás? Have a great day. Thank you for watching. If you like it, share it. Please share it. YouTube channels, Real Talk for an Unreal World. I got some cool things coming up. I'm going to do some conversations with some other people, so I'm going to start trying this out. I got a bunch of responses that people want to come on and have chat, so I love it. It's going to be great. Just thank you. This has been such a cool thing. It's a good journey, man. It's cool. I like where I'm at these days. Ciao. Have a wonderful day.